Isn't this pleasant? What are we, November the 2nd? Have my door open, it's nice and warm. The snow's melted. We got a little bit of summer action happening. Today's this baby again. Lost some motivation, so this thing was put on a break for a while. But now we're starting on it again. So we got a few bits. We figured out most of the hardware stuff for the tailgate, at least the latching, so I was able to latch it. Now it's just hanging where it's supposed to be. I'm going to now try to get the back bumper on. I guess I'll have to redo his exhaust because something not going to work with the bumper. So we got to do that and then make a custom little doodad for his. We're changing the radio and we're changing the heater controls, so I'm changing that up. And the plan is in the front of the console to build just, I don't know, something to fill in the space there. So let's get started. So I got the bumper or the bracket semi where it's supposed to be. I've just cut some plate, and now the plan is to mock this, if you can actually see, is to mock this up to the frame. So I'm just tracing out the holes. I'm gonna punch all the holes in there, and I'll show you what I got going on here. I'm probably gonna end up putting a little kink in this plate and then line up them holes. Okay, so the bumper is partially mounted. Those brackets I made, I've kind of zapped them in there. Yeah, but I have to still make these outrigger brackets. I mean, the bumper's pretty strong, but it's got a little bit of wobble to it, I guess. Nothing major, but so I got to build something from here. The original brackets are there, but I guess it would have went to the outside of some kind of a frame. So I'm just going to come back and piggyback into this bracket, and then I'll probably build a gusset or something in here yet. Somewhere up in there, I don't know. But it's got a back bumper now. So, well, once I figured out how the bumper brackets work, it wasn't too bad. So technically I was just using one of the brackets wrong. If you can see, it just tied into the side like that. So that should be fine for the bumper. The exhaust is completely in the way of running this setup on this side, but it's got most of the schmoo there. I don't see it. More just a cosmetic and stop it from rocking a bit. So at least the one side should hold the bumper fine. I don't know. If it's a problem, then we can move the exhaust, but for now, I think it'll be fine. I guess I'll tear it off, splash a bit of paint on this stuff, and then get to the front and try to figure out the signal stuff into this mess. relatively boring to film, so I didn't do a lot of it. Stuff to clean up. What I figured out with the harness is the headlights, it basically must have went to some sub harness. So it's pretty thin wiring that went to the lights. So I wired them to a set of relays. So one's your low beam, one's your high beam. So we just got to run a harness for each side of the light there. Make our own thing. I found the signals. So I ran them back and piggybacked into the stock setup. So that part is done. Well, at least it's done as far as I know. I can't get the signals to work or the headlights to work. The headlights, I'm thinking, has to do with the headlight switch not working. I don't know what the deal is with the signals yet. So either something's bunk in the column or I'm not sure. Same with the taillights. I think I got that all sorted out, but yeah. I'm just waiting for the bucket so I can put the taillights in, and then I'm going to probably cut this plug up and use it, run it from side to side. That is the plan there. But what are we? I'm calling it early. It's a little before 11. Tomorrow's plan is so I got the radio out. I kind of eaten up the control there. I'm going to, or the old climate control. I'm going to basically try to build that console in the middle for, or the new radio bracket and heater controls, so I can get all that stuff finished up. Yeah. Guess that's it for tonight. Well, a bit of a late day today. We are at like 9:30 already, so haven't had much go at this thing yet, but I gotta do a little bit to say I got productive here. So did get the bumper finished up yesterday, so now I'm gotta do that console. Basically the nav radio isn't going in. He's bought an Alpine unit, so we're going to put that in and make a custom bit on the bottom underneath it for the heater controls and stuff. So the plan is I'm probably going to make my own side trim. I'll just show you what I'm going to do. That'll be easier. Well, I got this painted up for the second time. First time the paint did something weird. So it's not quite dry yet. I'm gonna let that dry. While I'm waiting for that, I'm just gonna start stenciling up the pattern to build this console, finish up this empty ugly gap that's in here. So this console ends right there and there. So we're just gonna finish up something that goes up to the dash here and like up beside. That way we can upholster it to kind of match this console. And then I guess I'll wait for this to dry and we'll figure out what we're gonna do there. Well, this is what I came up with. I'm waiting for Buddy to get back to me to know if this is something he wants. It's, I don't know, a little weird in my eyes, but I guess it goes with everything else going on in the truck. So I'm gonna see what he says before I cut that up. I guess I'm gonna see if this other panel is dry, if I can deal with it. So I've traced out this panel. I got this one traced here, but I do want to fold it. So I made a line so I can do my fold. Pretty much this is this, with the option that I'm going to break it and these parts. So now I'm going to do just a really rough cut, and then I'll take it to the shear and then I'll get the pieces all cut properly and nice. So here's the console, or the little doodad. After we finished folding it up, everything else, I had to give it a little bit of a bulge there and round these corners a bit. It's got to sit tighter, but also once it gets upholstered and got some poofiness to it, it'll fill in these gaps better. We have to get his carpet in and stuff like that, and then we'll figure out. I know it's set up here to bolt under the dash, It's like I bent the flange under there. So that it can get screwed up and it'll get held into there. There'll probably be at least 2 screws here just to hold this face to here. But yeah, and it should be able to snake the heater around. Now I'm going to see if that little other doodad is dry enough that I can drill it and get it set up in there. That'd be kind of nice. So I gutted out all the controls and pretty much not hooked up, but we got a radio. This will be for the wipers, fan speed, defrost, and heat. I don't know if you can see better, but whatever. It is what it is. That's that. We got our console bit here that has to get upholstered. So that sort of almost buttons up the interior. We got to deal with the defrost and hook up the heater and all that jazz yet, but hey, it's in. It's in and it looks like something. Looks better than it did anyways. So yeah, sort of. I'm not saying it's buttoned up, but we got ourselves some interior stuff happening here. Stuff's done under the hood. Well, as good as we can do for now. Well, that's not too bad. We got that radio console thing done. We got the front half of that console bit in place, so that's good. I have to figure out the headlights yet. I'm pretty sure that switch is bad. But that's for another day. Another day. I think that's where we're going to leave this one. Kind of getting burned out on her. I think I got to shift gears and do something else. Thinking I got to start working on some of my own junk. But yeah. Well, thank you guys for watching. We'll check you out in the next one.